This video breaks down the 5 steps you need to know to build an elite offense in College Football 25. This is the #1 most important thing when it comes to building an explosive offense, and it comes down to the idea of having power plays. Now, everything throughout this video is going to actually point back to building this idea of power plays, but we need to talk about what that actually is. So, I'm in USC's offensive playbook, and we're going to scroll over to the gun spread. Now, I'm going to then go to the play mesh post. Keep in mind, mesh post for me is one of my power plays here, but not every play, and in fact, most plays in this game are not power plays, okay? Then I'm going to click the left stick in, and that's going to bring up random plays on defense. Now, what makes this a power play, just the definition here, is that if we just snap this ball against various coverages, we are pretty much always going to find somebody open, and we can test that literally live in practice mode by going up against random defenses, right? We can literally just see, oh, we're almost always going to have an answer for whatever coverage they have. That's what makes this, by default, a power play. Now, you might miss reads, right? You might do that. But, all in all, you should pretty much always have options open against every single coverage. It does not matter if they're in cover 2 man, cover 3, cover 4, match, whatever it is. Now, the one thing I would do here to make this a little bit better is I would come back this outside left wide receiver to make it look like this. I think this is going to be better against man and zone, that comeback route is. And we actually get some man coverage right here, and we're able to actually hit that comeback. Oh, that's on me. I missed the throw. That does not make it not a power play. Okay, you missing a throw or you missing a read does not make it not a power play. You not having anybody open, that does make it not a power play. And the reason these are so valuable is because this becomes our bread and butter. This becomes, man, I don't know what they're doing, but I know I can go to this play and I'm able to make something happen with it, right? I'm able to find openings as long as I execute. It keeps the game in our control. Now, right there, they just blitzed us. So we might have to make a variation, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And real quick, if I've helped you at all and given you any value from this video, consider doing me a massive favor and hitting the subscribe button. It seriously helps the channel out a ton when you do so, and it gets this video pushed to more College Football 25 players just like yourself. Oh, I dropped back to pass. We're blitzing, and I have a one-play touchdown right there, but I can't throw it. You've probably been in this situation where you know your opponent is running a very aggressive style defense. You have a one-play touchdown. You have a great route combo on the field. You have a dot, but you hit as you throw. So even a power play like this right here, even though it's very good and I love this play, if I can't block, who cares how good the play is, right? I don't care if I have a one-play touchdown. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to give you guys 3 different ways to block. The first one's actually a little bit unique, which is the idea of motion blocking, okay? So you would do this if, let's say I really want my halfback to be on a route. In this case, I want my halfback to be on an out route. I don't care, right? Well, how do I block somebody? Well, what if we went over to one of our slot wide receivers in this case, and let's say we motion him in, and then let's say we just snap him when he's around the line of scrimmage. Look what he just did. Look how much time I had. Now, my post didn't get open. I probably should have put a comeback on the field. But you see how much time I just had just by motioning? And motion blocking is what that method is called. To do this, simply hold B or circle, and what you're going to do is push the left stick to whatever receiver you want to motion block. And you see that little, like, icon, little arrow icon underneath Branch's name right here? If we tap our D-pad in the direction of that icon, we actually motion him and then snap the ball with him behind the line of scrimmage. Now, there are some receivers where you won't be able to motion block. And this is because they're on the line of scrimmage, and for the ball to get snapped, the rest of the team has to reset. So, like, watch what happens if I motion Robinson right here. You're going to see A have to reset, and I have to take a second to be able to actually motion snap. Now, in this case, it actually works out pretty well. You're able to motion snap them pretty fast, but sometimes you can't, so just keep that in mind. Motion snapping, one of the best little cool ways to do it. And pro tip, if you're going up against the meta double mug blitz, which you see up the middle all the time, you could motion block this guy right in the middle, and he's actually going to do a really good job against that. See again how I block the pressure. Now, next way I want to block it is a little bit simpler for you guys that you're probably familiar with, and that's just by pressing wire triangle. Let's select the halfback icon, and then we're going to tap right trigger. That's the pass block. A lot of people try to get fancy with their pass protections when they hold left bumper down. What I'll tell you is this. 90% of blitzes you see online, unless it is like a blitz that you've seen over and over again that you know is like better than other blitzes, you don't need to set up any extra protection for other than blocking your halfback and having good pocket. Notice right there, the blitz got picked up. We had all day. I just got to throw the ball. If we could do the same thing, but I have terrible pocket, and I'm doing all this, The blitz did not get picked up. It was not a protection issue. That is a I suck at quarterback pocket presence issue, okay? So what I highly recommend for most blitzes, just block your halfback and have good pocket. You might have to step up some. Right, we're here. Now we got all day. Boom, we're able to throw a little laser, okay? That's a massive, massive thing. Next on the list of what we can do pass blocking wise is actually not available out of gun spread, but instead it is something that we can do out of, like, let's say gun wide off trips. And it is blocking a tight end, okay? This is similar to motion blocking when we want our halfback to go out, and this can help against certain, like, edge disengage blitzes or maybe even edge pressure sometimes, where here our tight end's just going to help in pass pro, okay? So you have the ability to do that if you run a formation with a tight end. If you really needed to, you could do what's called max protection, which is blocking your halfback and then blocking your tight end. And then you have 7 people in protection, and you should be able to buy yourself a good amount of time. Keep in mind, if your tight end or halfback go one-on-one with an edge rusher, like you saw there, they can get shedded. You don't want them one-on-one. That's real football. You're going to see a lot of zone coverage when you play College Football 25 online, and I want to showcase exactly how we're going to beat it because it's pretty easy, and the concept applies everywhere, okay? We're in the USC offensive playbook, and I'm going to be using the gun spread. We're going to scroll down to the levels Y sail, and that's our play call for this. Keep in mind, you can apply these concepts to whatever formation or playbook you run as long as you take the concepts and just try to apply them. Now, let's go up against random zone coverages, and we're going to keep this pretty basic, actually. Let's look at the right side here. We have a flat route, and then we have a corner route. Think about what all zone defenses have, or what most zone defenses have. They have one flat zone defender. Okay, look at this guy. This is our seam flat. He is our only flat zone defender on the right. But we have 2 routes attacking the flat, and actually at different depths. This one, I'm going to change this. I'm going to hot route him into a halfback flat just because I think that works a little bit better. We have this one attacking about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. And then we have this one attacking 20-ish yards past the line of scrimmage, 25 yards past the line of scrimmage. What does that mean? That means that this flat defender can't choose both of them. Simple as that. He can't defend both of these things. And we can actually see that. If we just snap this play a few times against various zone coverages, you'll see that if he goes high, we go low. And if we go low, or if he goes low, we go high. Right? It's pretty basic. And so if we just keep on calling this play against zone coverage, you'll actually see that pretty consistently. Now, that's why I don't like the stock route that comes on this play, right? Because he just goes to the sideline too far down. So I'd rather hot route him into a flat. And so we go something like this. Oh, he went high. I guess we'll go low. We'll take our 5, maybe make somebody miss, get a lot more. You guys know how good rack is in this game, right? Let's go back to it again right here. Oh, he goes high again. Cool, easy as that. I am on Heisman difficulty right now, by the way. They literally, by default, cannot defend both of these. And to show you even in real time, let's go right here. Let's just snap this ball. And let's say I'm trying to be the flat zone defender. Either I'm low or I have to go high. I can't be in both of these places at once, right? Even in this situation, I have to defend A or I have to defend X. I can't defend the entire sideline if I'm that flat zone defender. You might be saying, though, Civil, very fine and dandy, but what about that pesky deep zone? Why doesn't he just defend the corner route? Well, good question. That's actually a great question. He doesn't defend the corner route in this case because he has to defend Robinson. Okay? So let's pretend, I'm just going to set up my coverage to make him pretend like that corner route is defending that corner is defending the corner route. Well, in that case, we will just have this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to defend deep. He's a deep zone that has a vertical threat in his area. He has to defend deep. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? Literally no way around it at all. Snap this ball again, right? They go, this time, they kind of play it in between. I'd rather take the bigger yardage. Now, this is how we're doing it on the sideline, but what about in the middle of the field? Okay, well, what if we, and I'm just going to hot route this play ever so slightly. What if we took A, right here, right? Hit Y on him, or Y, then selected A, then up on the right stick, and made him a post. And then I'll even, like, stem him down a little bit. So we'll custom stem him down like this. And now we'll snap this ball. This is creating the same idea. Look at the route combo I just ran. Now, we dropped the ball because we got hit, and we can talk about that in a second. But look at the route combo I just ran with this. We have drag going low and post going high. Now, the issue is I got hit by a deep zone, right? Because the deep zone played the post because there was no one pushing him back. So ideally, I'd have a streak right here, okay? Just like that, we're now high-lowing here. In this case, we actually were able to hit the post. We could have hit the post maybe a little bit sooner, and it hit me in the fucking head, so that's annoying. And you see kind of how spacing can play a factor in this too, where you want them to kind of, right there, great example. What didn't they do? They didn't play deep. So we are able to take deep, right? Let's go back to this bad boy again. This is a basic high-low concept over the middle. Oh, they play low again? We'll just go post, right? If they were to play high, I'm going to make them play high right here. Right? Feel free to screenshot this setup right here, like just a base idea. If they play high, I tried to get them to play high. I don't know why they didn't. But you get the idea. You just go low, right? Right there, post was open. We'll do it one more time just so you can see it again. You could even do this with like something like this, right? Double drags in the middle, right? Now let's go here. Again, dang, I really wish I could throw the drags, but the CPU is just playing underneath consistently. So we're just able to go high. It's a very easy way to make zone coverage have to choose between two different receivers, and that we are always going to be able to find somebody open, okay? If we look back at our power play, the reason our power play is a power play is because it's really good at beating every coverage, meaning it's really good at beating zone. Well, think about this. If we go here, even if I were to block my halfback here, right? Look at the middle of the field. We have drags going low, posts going high. And then on the left side, we actually have a drag going low on the left side all the way across, and our comeback route goes high. And he gets underneath deep blues. So let's see if we can actually do that, because that's what we talked about earlier. And, ooh, they actually played I had the post route open. All right, I tried getting ahead of myself. We're going to call it one more time really fast. I tried forcing that when we just had something else open. That's why, boys, you don't make predetermined reads. Good example right there. Bang. Go him. There we go. It would pick up a few yards. Cool. Easy example of how that concept of beating zone coverage applies to our power play as well, right? Boom. Oh, they went low. We went high. If you can't beat man coverage in college football 25, you are going to have a bad time. Simple as that. And I'm saying that as somebody who has really struggled against man coverage at different times throughout their Madden career and in college football 25. So, I want to first talk about what we want to avoid and what then we want or what we're trying to look for, okay? What we're trying to avoid is, or let me just select a play type of man coverage right here. Cool. What we really want to avoid are routes that just kind of seem to sit in the middle of the field. And so let me kind of show you what that looks like right here in the play Mills. Mills is kind of a crappy play against man because what route here is really beating man, right? Let's seriously, like maybe the curl routes right on the break. If we did something like boom, boom, like I guess. But even that, like that's because of a platinum takeoff badge. If we go over here to Robinson on the right side, it's like, no, it's just rough, dude. Sit routes, any kind of route that just sits isn't very good. And think about it in real life. No matter who you are defending, if they just sat, right, if they just ran a curl route and they got the ball thrown to them late, you could defend it. I could defend it. You kind of see that right there, right? So we want to avoid those kind of sit routes. Instead, what we want to have are routes that have cuts inside of them, okay? So to kind of show you an example of like a big difference between the two, let us go once again to play type man coverage. And then let's go here to the play halfback, whip halfback rail. All right. Now I'm going to get everybody out of the way. Let's look at my halfback here. Right now, he's on this flat route. This flat route doesn't have a cut in it, right? He just kind of runs pretty basic. Boom. This isn't going to really beat man coverage unless it's just because of leverage, because the man coverage is coming too far outside. What if, instead, we put our halfback on an out route? This has a very clear and defined cut. That is going to allow us to actually beat man coverage a little bit better. I think they're kind of calling different plays than I want, but it's okay. Keep that in mind. So we have out route that beats man. Flat route doesn't beat man. In route beats man. Texas route beats man. Curl route, not really going to beat man. Okay, so keep in mind that kind of idea here as we build the rest of this, like kind of the play and the concept here. Let's go now back to the play whip halfback rail. Let me actually select a man coverage play that is actually going to man cover. Go, boom, thank you. Okay, so we have this play right here. Good example of route that we want to get rid of. This curl route, this kind of weird snag. We don't want that. Same with this snag. Instead, what we could do is post route this outside wide receiver. Because think about it. Now this route has a very clear and defined cut in it, okay? So we snap this ball. Look at the post route. Post route is going to be able to get thrown and we're able to catch it, right? Now, there's a percentage of the time he's going to get bagged. It might be 50-50. The next route I really like here is actually stock on this play, and it's a zig. We could hot route this also by hitting right on the D-pad. Zigs are incredible against man coverage. They pivot in, and then they're going to cut out. You see right there, again, I don't know if the CPU's like changing up the calls or whatever, but it is being a little bit weird. Let's go back to the zig again here. Boom, we're able to get that outside leverage. We throw it, and we're able to get a few nice yards. Now, think about how the defense has to defend this. They have to start selling out to play defense for this zig, a simple 5-yard route. And if that's what they have to do, what we're going to be able to get over top of that potentially is a halfback wheel. Man coverage across the board is very bad at defending routes that go deep, that are just running deep. And to showcase this, let's watch what happens if I put a streak on Y. Okay, so we have a wheel on RB, streak on Y. Watch what happens here. Y is open for a pass lead inside, touchdown. Now, that same idea, by the way, could happen regardless of if it was Y or let's go this time, we'll put A on a streak just for the sake of seeing it. They kind of bounce, but we'll go wheel route, and he's able to get open over top. That was that first throw I made right there. I just did a bad job pass leading. Let's go back to this idea real fast, just to showcase what these deep routes can do against man. Go here, bang. Let's see, A. A is able to get open. Just want to get a good pass lead on that. Notice I'm passing it all the way inside, just inside and up, just because you want to get it away from the defense, of course. So now, let's kind of take some of what we're doing here. Let's put a streak right here. That's going to force him to have help deep. Let's have a zig to the right. Let's go force him to have help to the right. Let's put a post route. Let's go force him to have help in the middle. And then we also have the wheel. If we had to block, we could block him. Or this would be an example of if we had to block, we could motion block. In this case, we can't motion block our outside wide receiver, but you get the idea. On the outside, we'll put a comeback. This route combo right here, gonna beat majority of man coverage that you see. All right, let's snap the ball. Let's see what we get. Oh, up top, boom. Easy enough. We want routes that have cuts in them, and we want routes that attack the field deep. Your run game could easily take up 20, 30, 35% of your play calls in any given game, so you gotta have a strong run game. My favorites out of this playbook, again, spread USC playbook, is going to be the inside zone. This is, if you have an inside zone out of a shotgun set, like, you're good, you're golden, pony boy. We get blown up immediately, geez. But, like, for the most part, you are good. I will say, for my Heisman guys out there who play online, I have found running the ball on Heisman is actually pretty tough. Like, we're on Heisman right now, and, like, some of the sheds can be kind of nasty, so keep that in mind. So we have the standard inside zone. The next two I want to talk about are the read option, which I think if you can get a read option in your scheme, that's going to be so helpful. This one I actually don't like. This can be the guard tackle read option. I've just found the game can be a little bit weird with the guard tackle read option sometimes. The read key can change up sometimes just due to, I think the game just has issues with the guard and tackle both pulling. Right, you see right here, I don't even have a read key. But some just to keep in mind, as you see, like, we get blown up. I do like the standard read options quite a bit. So something that would look more so like, let's see if we can show one real fast right here. Something that look more like, let's go concept, option, read option. Yeah, so like these ones that don't really have pullers, so like gun tray open offset, we're just able to make a very basic read and then touch nothing to hand it off, hold A or X to pull the ball and keep it. I think that's a really easy one if you can have some of these inside of your playbook. The next style is, I think RPOs are really, really, really good. And I think they're really good on Heisman and online. We're going to go to the RPO read slot slide right here. What sucks about this one from this specific formation is that the slot wide receiver is actually a wingback. That's a little, he's not a wingback, but he moves into like the wing area. It's a little frustrating, truthfully. I wish that tell was not in the game, but I just had to point out how good RPOs are because you have the option to hand it off, you have the option to throw to the RPO, and then if it's an RPO read, you can also make it a read option as well, where you could pull the ball holding A or X on PlayStation. This, again, could easily take up 20, 30, 35% of your play calls. So having an effective run game that moves the ball forward is incredibly, incredibly good. Keep in mind, if a run play isn't working for you, cut it from your playbook. Don't try forcing it. Some run plays in this game just are better than others, and some just aren't very good. If you enjoyed that video, consider checking out this one right here, where I broke down the 6 steps to building an elite defense in College Football 25.